Hello, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon.
We are from Rural CEO, and we are here to interview about your journey with Falcon Services. Please take us through about your journey and about yourself.
In terms of Falcon Telesourcing, we started in the year 2006. And coming to my overall experience in the industry is I started my career in 1992. Uh, the journey to start Falcon was based on my real life experiences. Uh, that's when my childhood days. It was not limited to only playing and studying. Okay, so there has been a lot of hard work which I went into. Parents were into weaving industry, so we were involved into the doing job in the weaving industry also. This continued to school days, college days also. Post marriage in 1989, 1990, getting a job was not so very easy. Okay. So I had to literally walk into many offices to find a job for myself. My first job I landed in 1992. Okay, so that was the thing, and later on. Whatever opportunities came by my way, I utilized the opportunities and started taking up additional responsibilities. So that's how I moved up in paging industry also. I had a small experience of around 2.5 3 years in the hotel industry, that is ITC Windsor Sheraton, and then I took on with the paging industry. That's how I grew in the paging industry. Thought of starting something on my own came up after solid 16 years of experience. So that's how I started Falcon
So,
in 2006.
so what is the main inspiration for you to start this organization after having 16 years of work experience?
After having 16 years of work experience, to start something on my own, this I always had from my childhood days, because as a home weaving industry, we were giving employment for around 15 20 people, and then managing this home industry. And then
So the entrepreneurship was there already.
yes, entrepreneurship was already there in the roots. So, those days, after you get married, you come to your husband's house and you want to settle down and do something. The total experience was a thing. So it was more traditionally we were all brought up, and after marriage, I got an exposure. Like literally, I wouldn't know how to even operate a bank account, go to a bank. So that's when my husband supported me. Okay, you can do something. Then I did my college, my diploma in computer science. And then started.
So, as an entrepreneur, what are the challenges you would face in the initial stage of setting up your organization?
In the initial stage, the challenges is, though you have a bit of experience, practically setting up things, and then getting everything together was a challenge in terms of when I wanted to set up Falcon initially, because we wouldn't know how a private limited company operates. So we had to gather all the information, and then what is that we are going to do forward, what is the industry we are going to cater, because I always prefer to work in the domestic BPO industry, that is the paging. I was in paging industry, so with that experience, so it was very clear I do not want to take up international because I don't have experience. So with this experience, I wanted to move forward, and that is when technology was the biggest challenge those days. So we had to work on identifying a resource, and then make tech work. Okay, now since we have technology evolved, we are competing and then competent enough to have a technology in place. Those days it was a challenge, and because exclusive domestic BPOs were not available
Right.
those days. So
It was just the initial boom. It started
initial
during
boom.
1990s.
1996, 2000 only actually it all started.
Achha.
International call centers coming in and thing. Domestic BPOs were very small ones and very few were there. Okay, so exclusive one for domestic BPOs were very rare, and I wanted to do something in that area. So that is when. So those days, insurance was there. Insurance was outsourced, simplified selling. So based on that job market, I started my journey in 2006.
So how did you acquire your first major client?
First major client, even till today, I have Wipro as my client. Those days, I just started with one seat, I would say, one resource. We were able to consistently move up to around 17 to 20 seats with Wipro. This was roughly in the year 2007-8. So I also was having opportunity to work with insurance clients. So that was a smaller business then. And since we consistently and we were able to keep up the pace, they offered to go with 125 seats. So this was for one of the biggest insurance companies.
Nice. And was there any moment during this journey or initial start? Because as an entrepreneur, every entrepreneur feels that I don't know whether my company will survive or not. So have you ever felt that during those initial 1 or 2 years or 3 years?
Working capital was a challenge in the initial phases, and this kind of a challenge did not arise in front of me because while we started having two major clients, we also parallelly worked with diversifying our business. We got into other industry verticals. Yes, of course, in 2008, we were working with around 4 to 5 prominent insurance clients, and we had to see a downfall. The insurance IRDA came up with some regulations. Okay, so the insurance industry business came down for us, and that is the time where 2008 recession also set in, and that is when, since we had diversified, okay, we had to lose a percentage of business, but we did not have a challenge of or a feel that will the business survive. So in the initial days itself, the thought process was to de-risk the business, work with multiple industry segments, and so 2009 we started with telecom industry also.
Telecom industry also. Nice. So every company has their own secret recipe. So what is Falcon's secret recipe?
See, Falcon, we do not promote our business or do a big branding or marketing in place. We have 90% of our businesses coming through our client referrals. I do a good, client refers another client. That is how it is built over a period of time. So I would say that one. And the secret recipe to retention of clients would be that, we have self-monitoring processes in place. Okay, we do not wait for the clients to come back to us. We regularly monitor our performances, our quality deliverables, and then, we always consistently work towards what value adds that we can bring for the clients to retain the client and also to grow the client's business.
So when you talk about retention, how about employee retention? How good is retention over here at Falcon? Can you just share some thoughts on that?
Falcon, I'm sure you won't believe that we have a controlled attritions in Falcon, which is below 5%,
that's amazing.
which is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yes,
yes. 5% is something unbelievable. Okay.
Yes, which is below 5%. While the industry has around 25 to 30% attrition, which happens. The main reason is that we have an open door policy. Okay, for employees. We strongly believe in powerful work culture, and where we believe employees play the key role in your client retention and in the service industry. So employees are the main reason the industry survives.
Yes.
We work on their overall performances, overall development, skilling, training, mentoring them, showing them a path to grow internally. We have from the entry level resources to SME, subject matter experts. Then we have assistant team leads. They grow to the team leader level. Then they move to assistant manager operations. Then they go to the next level, deputy manager operations. And that is how the growth path is shown. So by doing this regular mentoring, by keeping them occupied, giving them additional responsibilities, understanding their skills, we ensure that employee retention is taken care.
So those leadership qualities are required no matter where you are and how you are.
Yes,
so
definitely.
leadership qualities
Yes.
will be an essential role in companies' development
Yes,
and
definitely.
even in employees' development.
Definitely, yes. It plays a vital role.
That's very nice, ma'am. So how has the BPO industry has evolved since 2006? Like last 2 decades, when we look into the BPO industry, when I was doing my graduation in 2008, I did complete in 2008. Many of my friends were saying, BPO is even now also they are in a very good position though. So how? Because I could never understand how BPO works. So and
See,
how it involves.
in the early 2000s, very few players were outsourcing. That in Indian company scenario, I would say it was insurance and telecom was outsourcing only basic activities. This is more to do with the data validation, and it's more to do with this simple voice outbound calling. You call somebody for a payment reminder, or you call some customer to validate their address. This is how the process was, very simple. In fact, when we started also, I still remember we used to work with those centric lines and those kind of a technology. And that is when, the slowly EPBX came into place, and then, we had this PRI lines, came into place. And then, now BPO industry has evolved, to an extent. It's become a strategic business process management. So we handle all the critical activities of clients, their complete business of clients. When it comes to the operations and the customer facing activities. So tech has played a major role, and the overall. So as I said, it was very simple processes that we started. There was a time when we started, we used to handle with the phone lines, and then, enter in Excel sheets. Now, so we are tech driven. The data is in the system. We have the CRM tools. We have all the required tools, the dialers, the loggers, which helps us monitoring, and that is where we become more confident as entrepreneurs, businesses, to take additional responsibilities from the clients and deliver. That's how businesses move forward.
So again, one more question would be like, how do you balance the automation for your industry with human touch in the customer service? In that line.
Balance automation is we need to provide the resources with the required tools. So wherein we have the chatbots in place, we have the CRMs in place, the dialers and ticketing tools in place, and loggers in place to handle the data volumes and the high speed data. Because people cannot manually toggle with the data, and we leave it to people that is handling complexity and handling the empathy, customers, empathy building. All these are people oriented. So technology is supports, but end of the day, it is the human touch which is required for the customer service industry.
Exactly. Even I also feel the same way. But in 2026, when as we are talking, there are many calls we do receive, which is automated voice. In fact, it listens to us very patiently, saying that press one if you have made the payment, press two if you have not made the payment, or press three for other options. And we do respond to that. So, how do you feel these changes? Like, how are they supporting?
See, these things which you are, listening to, the press one, press two are all called as interactive voice recorders. This is primarily required for high volume, inflow of calls to route the customers, because back end you will have the experts for that particular category. So that is where the calls get routed. In fact, it helps us. Even we have the IVRs in place. Press one for English, press two for Hindi. So actually, the customer doesn't have to wait and call and doesn't have to reach a person and have to explain to a person. So it helps. Very handy. It comes in terms of when we handle the volumes. It again further breaks down your business. For example, once you press one for English, it will again ask one for billing queries, one for any particular resolution that you want, or through three you want to talk to a thing. But still, if you see 80% of the customers press that they want to speak to a real
humans. Yes.
Real humans.
I wait for that 9 number all the time.
Press 9 for operator assistance.
Yes, operator assistance.
Yes.
No, these days it has become a bit difficult to directly to reach a human.
Yes.
The robots are in the place. So, I always have seen BPO as a very high pressure environment. I might be wrong, definitely, because when I'm looking at you, there is an answer already in your face. But still, how do you maintain the team's high pressure? Like, how do you motivate them?
See, BPO actually, what is pressure? Because, human brains cannot identify actually what is pressure and what is non-pressure. If you ask me, actually, if we are being transparent and able to communicate to our, people, that this is the route for that pressure, this is the expectations, this is the deliverables, and also guide them how they can do it, put in processes in place and measures in place. I don't see there's a pressure at all. I'm surviving in the industry for 30 plus years, but I enjoy doing this job. So I don't see there's a pressure at all.
That's an amazing answer, I would say, because yes, of course, when we are transparent, when we are meeting the expectations, work should be fun rather than thinking it as a pressurized job or something. So when Falcon looks into hiring, what are the qualities you look for from the candidate?
See, when we are hiring people, one is if you see 40 to 50% of our resources are from upcountry. We have people from Belgaum, people from Odisha, people from Madhya Pradesh. I have people from Mandya, Mysore, and other cities. I even have people Bengalis. I have people from Jharkhand. Okay, so 70% of our calls are pan-India, and Hindi and English is what. Apart from that, regional languages also. Other 30% of our call volumes are from South India. What we look forward in an employee whom we are going to hire is their need for job. Okay, need for job is very important, and the willingness to learn is important, and precisely change management. They need to adapt to changes. Okay. So change is something which is constant in everyone's life.
Of course.
So these are the three qualities we look forward for any resource that we are hiring. Yes, of course, bit of qualification.
Qualifications,
yes.
Of course. So how about the AI industry impact on BPO?
In domestic BPO, we have we are using some of the tools to help us handle customer calls.
Okay.
So far, we have not seen that impact come in. I would always say that AI is also a support for us to provide efficient customer support services.
Exactly.
So, for it's again a tool. I mean, I would say in customer service industry, nothing can replace humans. So it should go hand in hand. So I would say AI is also a support function to help us meet the customer expectations.
To become more efficient.
More efficient. Yeah, so more efficient. It cannot 100% cut cost.
Yes. Ma'am, what are the next 5-year plans of Falcon? How do you see yourself and Falcon next 5 years?
To answer this question, we are self-sustained in business. 90%, as I said, our businesses come through our client referrals. And we are very focused in terms of our client retention. 95% is our client retention. That 5% also, in case there is a change or some decision making at their management levels, that is when, we have to lose, not because of any performance related. And there's a high demand for the capacity building. Okay. So with the demand which is presently available in the capacity building, I foresee next 5 years down the line, we should be 200% in terms of our capacity and 200% in terms of our revenue.
Yes.
So that's what is the growth that I foresee.
So what opportunities do you see for the young professionals entering in this sector? The young professionals, the freshers.
The young professionals entering the BPO sector, it's very good for people, provided they need to be willing, as I said, adapt to changes and be consistent in the market and focus on the client retention and deliverables. So if they are able to do this and bring in value additions for clients, so their job makes them easy in this industry.
And what advice do you have for the first generation entrepreneurs? There is no bloodline in entrepreneurship or something, no back-end support, but those who wants to become an entrepreneur. So what advice would you give?
We see a shift in the way businesses operate now. Okay. The state government and the union government has a lot of schemes which is available for startup company to support the system, to bring them up, to bring in more entrepreneurs. While when we all started, it was not available. Yes. So the first generation entrepreneurs should use those facilities and schemes which is available. And they need to also focus in terms of consistency. What I say is creation of a positive revenue flow is something very important. Okay, you don't work on your revenues, your outflows, your cash flows. That would be a challenge. So they need to work on both consistency and positive cash flows.
So keeping a complete intact on the finances is one of the major role for them.
Major role.
So what does success mean to you today compared to when you started, and who do you credit this success to?
It was a learning every day when we started. We made a decision, we need to stick to the decision and we need to move on, learn all ups and downs in the industry. Today, we are a sustainable company and a profitable company, and which is the model is also scalable. To reach this place, there's a lot of ups and downs, efforts. I would contribute, all this would not have been possible. First and foremost is for all those employees who were associated with us.
That's very nice.
Yeah, without them, it would not
Without
have
the-
been
of course,
possible
of course.
to
Without
work
team,
around.
we are
Yeah.
nothing. Yes.
I can proudly say we have given opportunities for around 2,900 employees
That's amazing.
to work with us in the past 2 decades. And I wish them all a very happy success, whether they are there with us, they moved out, and wish them great success in their careers. I would always thank God for giving me this opportunity and thank all my clients who have trusted us and gave this opportunity. While I thank all this, I should not forget my family members also.
The core.
Yeah, the core, the parents who taught us our life skills at a very young age. And to make a family and business work parallelly, you need to have a great partner. My
Yes.
husband, Mr. Venkatesh, who's been very supportive in this journey, I would say is a pillar of strength. And I have my 2 children who are wonderful doctors now. From the childhood, they have been independent and studious. So my daughter is a gynecologist. She's Dr. Ashwita. And son is Dr. Akash, who's completed his MBBS. He's giving his MD/MS exams. Then I should not forget my pillars of Falcon family members. That is Anant Vane, who stood by us all these years, and almost 15 plus years. He heads our operations. So Mohan and Raghu, who head our technical team. They make tech work for us, and with data security, and make it very easy for the team to navigate. So all the team members of Falcon, I would say.
Yes. Nice, ma'am. So it was really good to know about you and your journey and the Falcon Telesourcing company. And we are very thankful to you for giving us an opportunity to talk to you.
Same here. We're really thankful to your company, the Rural CEO, I think,
Yes.
this podcast. And thank you so much, Mr. Ravi, for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Sure.
I'm really happy for it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, ma'am, for giving the Rural CEO an opportunity to have an interview with you. And we are amazed to know the journey of yours and the entire team and the company's success. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi and Rural CEO Company. Very happy for this opportunity, and very thankful to all your team members and you for giving me this opportunity and the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Follow us on our social media channels to get updates.